Greetings, YouTubers, and welcome back to another Toddy Walnuts video. Today we're going to go through some of my favorite box sets that I own in my collection. And these are not all of the box sets that I own, but there are quite a few. There's enough here to make a pretty lengthy video. We are stuck in the throes of a winter storm today, so it's been snowing since I woke up this morning. It's supposed to snow all through the night up until like 8 o'clock tomorrow. I'll throw a couple of clips in with this video just to kind of show you how it started, where we're kind of at now, and we're supposed to get hammered with up to 13 inches. I think right now probably we have about 6-7 inches outside. It's a perfect day or perfect night actually, to stay in, watch movies, talk about movies, show you some of my favorite box sets, give you guys some ideas, and perhaps you can give me some ideas to add to my collection. And again, these are not all the box sets I have. These are just some that I pulled out randomly that I want to talk about and show you. And the girls are here, and they're funny. I put a couple of box sets on the bed, and I'm kind of walking around a little bit looking to see which ones I want to pull out. And they were in the other room on the couch, in the living room. And as soon as I put a box set down on my bed, they both jumped up here. So they can't wait to see what we're going to show. Hope you guys are interested in this. Stick around, get yourselves relaxed, kick your feet up, get a beverage and a snack, and let's check out these box sets. Chill mode style. So the way I'm going to do this, I have these set up in categories. Actually, they're by company. So I have like a Arrow stack here, 101 Films, Indicator, Severin, and so on. So we're just going to randomly pull and talk about them. And the first one we have, the only second sight box set that I have, which is it's a doozy. It's a really beautiful set. This is the Dawn of the Dead box set that they released probably about 5 years ago now, maybe more. And this thing is just gorgeous. We'll take a look at it. We'll take everything out and take a look at the insides of this, and just to kind of show you a little bit about the specs here on the back. The movie itself came out in 1978, but I'm looking for a year that this was released by second sight. I would guess probably 5-6 years ago, but it could be longer than that. But this is the limited edition 4K box set. You get the theatrical cut, the extended can cut, the Argento cut, and a Blu-ray special features disc that's just packed with limited edition contents. There's also an audio CD from the soundtrack, the Goblins or Goblin soundtrack. I believe back in 1978 they were called the Goblins. So let's take this out. We'll take a look at the inside. So for quality and appearance, they get a 10 out of 10. It's a really beautiful set here. It's a top lid that removes from the box. It's a really nice, thick, hard outer shell. Just kind of plain and simple, but I love that chartreuse against the black. It looks really, really good. And then to put the head of the zombie with the kind of the pinkish lavender top, it looks really beautiful. I really love this set. And inside, I have everything pulled out here. The first item is a book, a really thick book. I think this is I can't remember if this is the novel of the movie, I believe. I think this is the novel of the movie. I haven't read it yet. It's really nice though. They put a lot of effort into it. I think that cover looks really good. And then there's a hardcover book that came with it also, called Dissecting the Dead. Really nice Really nice write-ups. This is probably 100 pages, I would guess. 150, 156. Everything you would need or want in a Dawn of the Dead box set. And then here is a digipack with the movies. So you get the theatrical cut, 4K. You get the extended can cut, also on 4K. The Argento cut on 4K, and then this was the Blu-ray bonus features. And then there's a panoramic viewing of the dead walking the earth. And then here is, looks like these are 3 CD soundtracks. It's been a while since I opened this. I can't believe how awesome this box set is. So this was the original soundtrack by Goblin. This one is the DeWolf Library compilation, part 1. And this is the DeWolf Library compilation, part 2, totaling 7 discs altogether with everything that we showed. And again, there are the dead walking the earth. What an amazing box set. I'd be curious to hear if any of you picked this up or if you're going to try to hunt this one down. It's definitely worthy of an addition to anybody's collection. Here's one that's fairly new to my collection. Over the past few months, I picked this one up. This was actually a pre-order from Terror Vision called Shoestring Slashers. This is the box set. It's really nice. These are 3 ultra low budget shot on video type horror movies. You get Beware, Phantom Brother, and Basement Jack. I think this thing sold out pretty quick. It's a really nice set. There's the Terror Vision logo. And you can see the little SS. I'm assuming that's Shoestring Slashers 001. So they may have plans to do a series of these. I mean, I'm sure that there are certainly enough movies out there that they could add and make a line out of this, or volume 2, volume 3, etc. So here was Beware. Just going to kind of briefly go through this. If you like low-budget horror movies, if you like shot-on-video horror movies, you may want to give these a shot. This one came out in 2001, and you can see how really low-budget those are. Me, I enjoy them, but I have to be in the right frame of mind, the right mood to sit down and watch these, but they're still fun. I'm glad to have this in my collection. Next is Phantom Brother. These have the thick slipcovers too, just like Vinegar Syndrome. This one came out in 1988. "92 minutes running time." And the third and last one for this box set was called Basement Jack. That's kind of a funny tagline. "Evil has a new address, yours." And this one came out in 2009. You can see Tiffany Shepis there. She's been in a lot of low-budget horror movies. So that is Shoestring Slashers from Terror Vision. Again, if you like low-budget, like ultra low-budget and shot on video, give this a shot. You might like it. You'll probably like it, I should say. Next, I have a couple of 101 Films box sets that I'd like to show, and I think these are really, really awesome box sets. This is the Silent Night, Deadly Night, parts 1 and 2 box set. I like the color of this. I like the color scheme that they use, the blacks and the whites and the reds kind of blending together. These are fun Christmas-themed horror movies, slasher movies. And comes in this nice hard outer shell. Has kind of a matte finish, so it's not a fingerprint magnet. And then inside are housed the movies that come in their own keep case. And this is part 1. I have a feeling this movie here is on a lot of people's annual Christmas, holiday horror movie watch list. It is on mine for sure. And this is a 2-disc set, so you get on disc 1 the theatrical version, and on disc 2 you get the extended unrated, and you get a bunch of bonus materials there. Really nice. And then you also get part 2 with this. And you get all the special features there again. And this one also comes with a pretty thick book. It's always hard for me to tell how many pages. It's about 30 pages, but it's really thick, and it feels much more than that. But they use nice thick stock paper, and again, it's kind of a matte finish, so you don't get your grubby fingerprints all over everything. So this is one that I definitely would recommend for your holiday horror fix. You can put this in every year and check it out. That is the Silent Night, Deadly Night Parts 1 and 2 box set from 101 Films. The next one is also from 101 Films, and this is the Bob Clark Horror Collection. You get 3 movies from Bob Clark. We're going to go through and talk about those for a moment. There you can see the side of the box. Spine number 29 has the 101 logo there at the top. Some really nice artwork on the box. I love the way that this looks. It's a nice hard outer shell again. You get the kind of a matte finish and a nice solid outer shell. And in this set, the 3 movies that you get are called Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, which is a pretty fun movie starring Alan Ormsby. I believe he actually wrote this too. And it was directed by Bob Clark, obviously. It's a Bob Clark box set. So it had a special makeup created and screenplay collaboration with Alan Ormsby. Why is it so blurry? I apologize about that. I should pay more attention. Sometimes when I'm reading, I read over my phone, so I'm not seeing what you guys are seeing. I apologize about that. But you get some special features here too. This is a pretty fun movie. It's not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still a fun movie. It has really good atmosphere. It's kind of a comedy horror, I would say, but it's still pretty fun. And the next one is called Dead of Night, also known as Death Dream. And I showed you guys Death Dream if you watched my Blue Underground collection video the other day, whatever it was. But here they're calling it Dead of Night. But I always knew it as Death Dream, but it goes by both. See right there at the top it says Death Dream, aka Dead of Night. So they're using the alternate title here, which I kind of like that. Let's see if they have the alternate title on the inside. Oh, they do on the back, I guess. Yeah, they do on the spine. So this is a really, really nice set. I got this for dirt cheap. It was, I saw Daniel from Frank's Collecting Castle a year or 2 ago. He showed his, he has the same box set. And he was talking about it, and I was like, wow, that looks great. I think I bought this for like $20 on eBay a year or 2 ago, whenever it was. But here's another annual Christmas slasher movie that I like to watch. It's in my rotation every year. This is Black Christmas, the original Stalk and Slash classic. This is a really fun one. This box set came out in 2017. You get a lot of bonus features, audio commentary with Bob Clark. It's funny to me to think that Bob Clark, who was probably most famous for the annual Christmas movie A Christmas Story with Ralphie, the Red Ryder, BB gun, you'll shoot your eye out, kid, frozen tongue on the flagpole, all that stuff, that movie, he's the same director that directed these 3 horror movies. I think that's a pretty fun fact. Everybody knows that, though, I'm sure. And then you get a nice booklet here with it. You can tell that these pages are pretty glossy, pretty fancy. Not going to go through the whole thing, but just kind of show you guys. This was one I definitely wanted to pull out and share it with you guys. And then you get some art cards, which I'm not going to pull these out, but these look really great. It just shows some of the images from the front. It's a really, really cool box set. So if you're into kind of, you know, Christmas slasher type movies, you might want this just for Black Christmas, but you know, all 3 of these movies are fairly decent. I think, in my opinion, it probably would go out of these 3. This one's the best, I think. And then probably Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. This is just my opinion. And then third would be the Death Dream or Dead of Night. So, all right, let's go on to the next one. And now we'll get into a handful of the Vinegar Syndrome box sets. And the first one, I love this box set. I really was happy to hear that they were releasing a box set with made-for-television horror movies. Back in the 70s and 80s, it was an art. It was a craft to make a horror movie made for TV that people would actually want to watch. Because people normally tune in to watch horror movies for violent kills, blood, guts, stuff that you can't really see, you know, gratuitous nudity, as they say, stuff that you can't show on TV. So in order to kind of draw people in, you really had to be creative, and you probably will never get back to the day where they're making made-for-TV horror movies. There's so many different pay channels, and everybody's over-the-top gore and blood and violence these days. You'll never see made-for-TV horror movies. But this was an era that I really enjoyed, and I'm hoping that they'll come out with a couple of more volumes of these. But this is called Televised Terror Volume 1. Comes with the top load, the top cover that goes over the top of the box. And they have really nice high quality. I love the design of this type of box. It's really nice. And they seem to keep it with other editions, which I'll show later here. But the artwork on this box is really nice too. These are the movies that you get with this set. Are You in the House Alone? Calendar Girl Murders and Child in the Night. I know I've showed these many times on my channel, but this is just kind of a refresher of some of the box sets that I would recommend to you guys. So I'd like to get them all in one video here. So here is Are You in the House Alone? A stalker type horror movie. This was from 1978. These are really fun movies. Here's Child in the Night. This one came out in 1990. Take a look inside on some of these. Yeah, we'll never see the days of the made-for-TV horror movies or the drive-in theaters. So box sets like these are like gold to me. Here's Calendar Girl Murders. And this one came out in 1984. So you had one that touched in each of the decades of 70s, 80s, and 90s in this box set. There's so many more that they can do. I hope that they continue to do this line here with the televised terror that they're calling it here. So this is one I definitely recommend. If you don't have it, snag it, grab it, add it to your collection. Another series that I really, really love from Vinegar Syndrome are the Homegrown Horrors box sets. And so far, they have 3 volumes. I'm going to go over these briefly. We're not going to spend too much time on them. but we'll start with Volume 1. Again, I hope they continue these. These are low-budget horror movies that are under the radar. You know, these are just kind of campy, cheesy. You get Fatal Exam, Beyond Dream's Door, and Winter Beast. I don't know if you guys care about the spine number, but that's VS 355. It's really nice artwork too on here. So let's get that lid off and check out the inside. You get Winter Beast. There's a lot of things I love about Vinegar Syndrome, but one of the main things I love about Vinegar Syndrome is they're rescuing a lot of these unknown or little known hidden gems, and they're restoring them and bringing them to a mass audience who probably would never have heard of any of these or watched any of them if it wasn't for them. So they deserve a lot of credit for what they do. This one came out in 1992. Look at how kind of cheesy that is, but man, I really love these kind of movies. Again, I have to be in a mood to watch these, but these are really great. Here's Beyond Dream's Door. This one came out in 1988. And the third one is Fatal Exam. And this one came out in 1988 as well. So if you love your cheese, you love your low-budget horror movies, definitely look into these homegrown horrors. That's Volume 1. We'll quickly go through Volume 2 and 3. Here's Volume 2 again. The artwork on the box is phenomenal. It's really, really great. It kind of wraps around from the side to the bottom. Has that same top load. The movies you get here are Hanging Heart, Moonstalker, and Dead Girls. Really nice. Hard outer shell. And you get Hanging Heart from 1989. Moonstalker. It's a pretty cool looking cover. It looks really cheesy, but 1989. Check out some of the screen grabs there. Some of the still frames. Looks like it'd be a fun one. And then the third one is called Dead Girls. Kind of a phantom in the background. This one came out in 1990. You can see there's an axe-wielding maniac. So that's Volume 2. Really, really happy to have these. I had to go get Heidi a blanket because she's a spoiled baby, but you can see her poking out right there. She's still keeping an eye on what we're doing out here. So this is Volume 3. Again, that box art is really, really good. I like it a lot. You get Haunted Ween, Deadly Love, and Revenge. Really nice set here. This is Revenge. Patrick Wayne, who is John Wayne's son, and John Carradine from the Carradine acting family. This one came out in 1986. And Deadly Love. $1987. You can see that they do have some bonus features. And the third one is Haunted Ween. 1991. So again, to repeat myself, I think these are really excellent box sets. I hope they continue the line. I hope they go on for more volumes after this, and I do recommend these. And I'm really glad to have all three of these in my collection. I have a couple of box sets here from Indicator. These are the Ray Harryhausen box sets, Volume 1 and Volume 2. And these aren't necessarily horror box sets, but they do have horror themes. For example, there's monsters and stuff like that, creatures. And these are really excellent. And obviously these are the movies that Ray Harryhausen became famous with. His stop motion and his special effects are phenomenal. And they still stand up today, decades later, because Volume 1 came out. These are the movies from 1955 to 1960, and Volume 2 is 61 through 64. So we'll go through these and check these out. We'll start with Volume 1. We'll check out the outside, and then we'll pause it and get inside. So we'll take the little shell off there. You can see some of the artwork on the box. It's really nice. It's a matte finish. These are spine numbers 41, 2, and 3. For this set, you get It Came From Beneath the Sea from 1955, 20 Million Miles to Earth, 1957. Both of those are black and white. And then you get The Three Worlds of Gulliver from 1960, which is in color. Look at all these bonus features too. I'm not going to go through and read all those. But if you want to pause that, that's a lot. That's a massive amount of special features. And this was a limited box set, limited to 6,000. And I got number 5557. So in this set, well, before we get into the movies, we'll just talk briefly about the outer shell. Really nice, high quality. Again, it's a very sturdy box. And you get a nice thick book. Some of the monsters. I have no idea how many pages this is. Looks like about 75-ish. Get a lot of write-ups, essays, and photos. Everything that you would need or want in a box set. Really, really nice stuff. And of course, we're here for the movies, so let's check those out. Here's The Three Worlds of Gulliver. It's a 2-disc set. It's a Blu-ray DVD. Has an alternate cover. Let's take a look at it. That's what the alternate interior cover looks like. I always liked it when they put little things like this at the bottom. Super Dynamation color. Or they would have different things like that. Things you don't really see too much these days. And then here is It Came From Beneath the Sea. This is a fun movie. I own this movie a couple of different times. A lot of bonus features for this. For a movie going back to the 50s and you have this many, this was a, it was produced by Sam Katzman. We're going to be talking about him later in this video. Another 2-disc set, Blu-ray DVD combo. That's a nice cover there. Ooh, they're both good. I actually like this one better though. It just has more color, more pop to it. But they're both good. And the third and final for Volume 1 is 20 Million Miles to Earth. Here's the bonus materials. They really give you some good stuff. There's a 23-minute documentary called Film Music's Unsung Hero, an 18-minute interview, some really beautiful stuff here. Sometimes the bonus features are just as fun as the movie itself, I think. There's a reverse cover. Let's take a look at that. Ooh. Yeah, again, these are both really good. I think I'm going to keep it the way it is, though, but I really love that, though, on the inside. And now we will jump into Volume 2. I'll take this band off. It's limited to 6,000. I got 29.46. So the three movies you get here, sorry about that, I had to get a drink really quick. My throat was getting dry. Mysterious Island, Jason and the Argonauts, and First Men in the Moon. Really great movies. These are all fantastic. The artwork on this box is gorgeous. Look at that. Beautiful. Spine numbers 51, 2, and 3. And just, I mean, look at that. Look at that for bonus features. Wow. Mysterious Island, 1961 color. Jason and the Argonauts, 1963 color. And First Men in the Moon, 1964 color. And these are all Blu-ray DVD combo. Comes with a nice thick book, just like the other set. There you can see his miniatures, and here you can see him working with them. Man, you would have to have a lot of patience and creativity to make something like that work. And I don't think there's been another guy to do it quite like Ray Harryhausen. These are really, really good. First Men in the Moon is a fantastic movie. All of these are. So all kinds of essays and write-ups, color photos. Okay, so here's First Men in the Moon. I really recommend this. I have this movie a couple of different times as well. I have the Twilight Time Blu-ray. I really enjoy it. So you get the Blu-ray DVD. And there's the reverse cover, which looks really great. Look at that. It's a painted cover. Almost looks like an old comic book cover. And we have Mysterious Island. Plunging into adventure beyond imagination, a world beyond belief. There's a tagline for you. A lot of bonus features. Put those off to the side so we can see the reverse cover. And maybe the most famous of this box set, Jason and the Argonauts. Really nice adventure movie, fantasy adventure. The epic story that was destined to stand as a colossus of adventure. Greek mythology stuff right here. This is really good. And there's the reverse cover. Another painted cover. That's beautiful. I think that interior cover is better. I should probably flip this. So that was the Ray Harryhausen collection, volumes 1 and 2 from Indicator. And these, I'm pretty sure that these are both sold out. I believe they sold out pretty quick. And I was lucky to get these before they sold out. But I think they're probably going for a king's ransom now. If you can find them for a good price that you feel is comfortable for your budget when you get your money right, I would definitely pick these up and add them to your collection. These are really wonderful movies. Really, really glad to have these. Now we get into some Severin box sets, and I have quite a few here that I really love. And I want to share these with you because I think these are worthy to add to any collection. And the first two that we're going to show here, these are the Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee, volumes 1 and 2. And I don't have to tell you guys that Christopher Lee is one of the best actors in history. And they captured some of his movies here in box set. So in volume 1, it's a 9-disc, and you get a book and so it's 8 Blu-rays and 1 CD for this set. And we'll go through this quickly because there's a lot to show here. But Sherlock Holmes and the Deadly Necklace, Crypt of the Vampire, The Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism, Challenge the Devil, Castle of the Living Dead, and Theater Macabre. Theater Macabre. And we'll go through that here in a minute. And then volume 2, really nice box set. You get 6 Blu-rays and 1 CD soundtrack and a book. You get Uncle Was a Vampire, The Secret of the Red Orchid, Dark Places, Dracula and Son, and Murder Story. So let's pause. We'll go through volume 1, and then we'll try to go through this a little quick because I do have a lot of other stuff that I want to show. So let's keep moving. So it's another very high quality, thick, hard box, outer shell. I love the colors too. They use the different uses of the green with the chartreuse to the darker green to the black. Looks really, really good. And then we'll just quickly show you the covers here. This is Theater Macabre. Christopher Lee was such a versatile actor. I mean, everybody knows him from Dracula, and he was, to me, he was the best Dracula. But he also played Sherlock Holmes. I mean, he was in a lot of other movies. He was in the Lord of the Rings movies. He was really, really versatile. Here's the Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism. Castle of the Living Dead, that's a great cover. Crypt of the Vampire. And you can tell that Severin puts a lot of effort into the movies that they release. And just look at these. I mean, who wouldn't be proud to have these in their collection? These are really nice. And then you get a nice thick book here. The Continental Connection. Just really, really beautiful stuff. Rasputin, the Mad Monk. So many different great roles for Christopher Lee. And here's volume 2, and again they used a really good color scheme here with the black or the darks, and then you got the yellows and reds that pop. I mean, it looks really, really good. Really nice stuff. Really cool collectibles. Here is Dracula and Son. Murder Story. And then you get a bonus full-length feature called Mask of Murder. The Secret of the Red Orchid. This pairs up Christopher Lee and Klaus Kinski. Uncle Was a Vampire. And Dark Places. And you also slide these off to the side. You also get a really nice book again. Christopher Lee, A Career in 6 Snapshots. Look at that. Christopher Lee was a really tall man. I think he was like 6'5" or 6'6", something like that. He was very imposing. He was I think that's why he played a great Dracula, because he was tall, he was thin, and he just, he was very intimidating. He had that dead-eyed stare right there. And when you saw him as Dracula with those blood-stained or bloodshot eyes. That's the word I was looking for. I couldn't think of bloodshot for a minute, but he had those bloodshot eyes, and man, forget about it. He was a scary dude when he wanted to be. But that is Christopher Lee Collection 2. So if you can track these down for a good price, I would definitely add these to your collection. I think they're definitely worthy in anybody's collection, and I'm really glad to have these. Next from Severin is the Lenzi Baker box set, and these are the collaboration movies between director Umberto Lenzi and actress Carol Baker. These are the giallo movies, the Italian slasher movies, and these are gold. These are really, really good. What a great box set this is. I just wanted to show you Heidi really quick too. She's kind of zonked out. You see Hannah over there? She's zonked out too. Just spending a little time with my besties, that's all. But this is a really cool box set. It kind of has a 60s throwback vibe to me, seeing this. Look at that old camera equipment. This is really, really cool. Again, it comes in a nice hard outer shell. And we'll just quickly go through the titles here. We have Knife of Ice, what a title. Carol Baker really was beautiful. Great actress. This one came out in 1972. This was the final Lenzi Baker movie. And this one's called A Quiet Place to Kill. (1970). So we're going backwards. So this was the fourth and last movie they made together. This was the third movie they made together. Here is So Sweet, So Perverse. I better be careful here. Okay, we're good. 1969. And Orgasmo. What a title. (1969). This one includes the Italian director's cut. This was their first collab together. You get the director's cut of the movie. That's really cool. So there they are again in order. And I don't have to tell you that I recommend this, obviously. And again, I am glad to have this in my collection, but this is a beautiful box set. Really, really glad to own this. So this set is fairly new to my collection. I got it a few months ago, and I did a Creatures from the Deep video with shark movies and crocodiles and whales and stuff like that, creatures from the ocean and waters that are terrifying. But this is a really beautiful set. This one's called Feeding Frenzy, the Italian Sharksploitation collection. Really nice hard outer shell. You get the Shark Hunter, Monster Shark, and Night of the Sharks in this set. They also threw in a little sticker that I thought was pretty appropriate because they have that fin, the shark fin. So I just keep the sticker in with my box. It's a 6-disc collection. You get 3 Italian shark movies, fully uncut with CD soundtracks, and 3 combined hours of special features. What a beautiful set. This one's still available on their website, I believe. You can get this pretty affordable. I wouldn't say it's cheap, but you get what you pay for, though. So here's Monster Shark. I'm not going to go too much further into it than that because I did recently do this. Night of the Sharks. Really nice. I should point out, though, that they come in the black cases, but they also have the double thick slipcovers, just like Vinegar Syndrome. And the third one is the Shark Hunter. And to me, that still looks like Maurizio Merli, but it is Franco Nero. And these are fun movies. So here they are again, side by side. Here's the box. If you love your monsters in the water, definitely grab this set. Here's a box set that was pretty early in their catalog. This was from 2017. Severin Films released this, and you can kind of tell because the quality isn't quite there. This is a rather chintzy, kind of a thin, just not as high quality as some of the other box sets that they're doing now. But this is a really beautiful set, though. This is the Amicus collection. These are all British horror movies. You get Asylum, and Now the Screaming Starts, The Beast Must Die, and The Vault of Amicus. These are all movies from the 70s, I believe. And we'll go through quickly, and I'll just show you these. These are definitely worthy of a buy. It was limited to 3,500. I got 1,562. You can see some of the covers, but we're definitely going to go through those too. And they're a little bit out of order from what we just read them, but I don't think that really matters. Here's And Now the Screaming Starts. Great cover. Let me see if I can find a year. 1973. Supernatural ghost story. Here's The Beast Must Die. (1974). This was the last film that Amicus did. Here's Asylum. This is probably one of their most famous movies from Amicus, Asylum. Peter Cushing, Britt Eklund, Herbert Lom, Patrick McGee. There's a lot of great British actors in this movie from 1972. And the last one, I believe this is a documentary, The Vault of Amicus. Let's see here. This is over an hour of Amicus trailers. So these are all the trailers that you'll see and more. And it says there's plus Easter eggs. I haven't put this one in yet. Plus you do get some bonus features. There's 3 hours of audio highlights from the legendary 1985 sessions with Philip Nutman, interview with Milton Subotsky. That's quite a different kind of a name, Philip Nutman, or is it just Nutman? Hey Nutman, get over here. I'm making a movie over here. I don't think they talk like that, but I don't even know why I said that. I'm kind of starting to get a little sleepy, but we're going to make it through this. I promise you we're going to make it through this. So there they are. Another excellent box set. Another one of their very earliest box set releases was the Blood Island collection. It's a 4-movie box set, and it comes in again this kind of a chintzy, kind of lower quality type box set. This was limited to 3,500. I got number 1434. You can see the art cards for the movies. You get Terror is a Man, Mad Doctor of Blood Island, Brides of Blood, and Beast of Blood. These movies are really, really fun. The complete Blood Island trilogy plus the acclaimed prequel, newly remastered on Blu-ray for the first time ever. These movies are fun. So here's Brides of Blood. Great covers. This one came out in 1968. This is Beast of Blood. This one came out in 1970. This was the third movie in the trilogy. These are a little bit out of order. Here's Terror is a Man. This one's black and white, 1959. And here is Tomb of the Living Dead. That's a great cover. These movies were shot in the Philippines. There's the Blu-ray on the right. I believe this is the CD soundtrack here on the left. It is. And then here's the track listing for the CD. I think, if I remember correctly, this sold out pretty quick. And again, it was going for a king's ransom. You'd have to sell a kidney to get this now, I think. But if you could track it down, if you can find it for a price that's comfortable for you, I would definitely try to grab this Blood Island collection. I got two more to show from Severin, including this one, and then we'll move on to Arrow, I think we'll go to next. This one's called Hemisphere of Horrors. You get Curse of the Vampires, Blood Drinkers, The Black Cat, The Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism, and Brain of Blood. This was limited to 3,500. I got number 510. You can see that it's pretty gory, pretty good practical effects on these movies. For being low budget as they are, I think they did a really fantastic job on the special effects. But it was one of the earlier releases, and it has a very thin outer shell. Curse of the Vampires, 1966. Blood Drinkers, 1964. The Black Cat and the Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism. The Black Cat came out in 1966, and Torture Chamber came out in 67. And the final one is Brain of Blood. Look at that cover. Looks like an old Monster magazine or an EC comic. This one came out in 1971. So again, if you can track this down, usually when they're limited like that to 3,500, that means they're sold out and it's probably doubled in price. But keep your eye out. Maybe you can find a seller that's willing to cut you a break. If you can find these, do pick it up though. And the last one for Severin is called The Dungeon of Andy Milligan. Again, Andy Milligan is another master of the low budget movies. In this set, you get the ghastly ones: Legacy of Blood, Bloodthirsty Butchers, Carnage, plus 10 additional movies, all new special features, and more. And this is a really cool set. It's made to look like it's beat up, but this thing is actually in mint condition. It just looks like it's all messed up, but it's not. I like the packaging on this. It comes in kind of a digibook format. I'll show you here in a moment. But these are all the movies you get. Some of these I have already in single editions. Like The Rats Are Coming, The Werewolves Are Here. That was a Blu-ray release by Code Red years ago. Torture Dungeon, Legacy of Blood, Bloodthirsty Butchers. Those were all released already on Blu-ray. I have those already, but I wanted to get them all and have them all in one set. So before we get into the innards, let's take a look at this outer shell, which is really beautiful. Really, really sturdy. This is a heavy set too, because the kind of digibook style is, it's really well put together. It's heavy and it just feels sturdy. It just feels like it's high quality. I really like it. So we'll kind of quickly flip through here. I like the color schemes with the green and the red. It looks pretty cool. See the different poster art for each of the movies. You may recognize some of these if you purchased the Code Red Blu-rays. The Man with Two Heads was also released by Code Red. I believe Legacy of Blood also was. This is a really cool set. There's Carnage and Blood, the ghastly ones. And you get a really thick book. Does it say? 123, 124 pages. That's really good. We'll just kind of do a little flipperoonie here. Oh, we have to be careful. I think we got lucky. We don't want to show any titties. All right, really beautiful set. There are some others that I want to get from Severin, but again, once they sell out, they really skyrocket in price. And I have my eye on a couple of them. I have several of them actually on a wish list that I'm watching daily. And when the time is right, I will pull the trigger when I feel comfortable with the price. But for now, these are the Severin box sets that I have. And if you have any suggestions, please feel free to leave those below. So let's pause it here. I'm going to get a drink. I'm probably going to take a little break, but you won't even notice it because I'm going to be coming right back. And then we'll get into some other stuff, probably Arrow next. So stick around. So before we jump into the Arrow stack, which is going to be pretty long, there's kind of a double stack here. I do have two more I want to show from the Indicator line. And the first one here is called Magic, Myth, and Mutilation, the micro-budget cinema of Michael J. Murphy from 1967 to 2015. And it says here, it contains the complete surviving works of Britain's great unheralded do-it-yourself auteur. This definitive, individually numbered 10-disc Blu-ray set collects an astonishing half-century of creative output. So let's take a look at it. Take that little sleeve off here. And this was limited to 6,000, like Indicator is known to do. And this is number 4157. Really nice, thick, heavy box set. These spine numbers you get in this set are 280, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 289 it ends at. Really nice, kind of plain, but effective. I like the way that that looks. I like the band color with for indicator. I think that pops against the black. You get all these bonus features, and these are all the movies you get in this set. We're going to go through this quickly, but this is a really beautiful box set. Actually, let me just, you know what? Yeah, let's pull them out. We'll pull them out. We don't want to rush it, but you get a really nice thick outer shell. This is a pretty big box set. And so it looks like there's 4 movies here on this disc. The Hereafter, Bloodstream, Legend of a Hero, and Death Run. Haven't watched all of these yet. These are from the 60s. This little set here, all these movies were from the 60s. This one is Second Sight, Road to Nowhere, The Rite of Spring, and Tristan. And it looks like these movies may have been from the 90s, 1990s. All these bonus features. You get Roxy, Scare, ZK3, Necros, Isle of the Dead, and The Return of Alan Strange. Again, a lot of bonus features. And it looks like these movies were from the 2000s. Avalon, Moonchild, Torment, and Atlantis. Movies from the 90s and late 80s. And Tristan and Iseult, Happy Ever After, Secrets, Almost a Movie, The Cell, Stay, Death in the Family, Invitation to Hell, and The Last Night. Quite a set here. These movies came from the 70s and early 80s. And then you get a really nice thick book. Everything that you would want or need for the films of Michael J. Murphy. Really, really nice thick book. 115 pages. Let's see, take a look at Michael Murphy there. Really nice edition. Was that a monster? Low budget. It looked like they were using Halloween makeup. But hey, if it's done right, you don't have to go over the top for gore to make it effective. Some of these low budget movies do just fine without hiring big bank special effects guys. Let's see. And you know, sometimes there's a charm to the low budget movies. So that was the Michael J. Murphy box set called Magic, Myth, and Mutilation. I'm assuming this sold out since it was limited to 6,000. But if you can get it cheap, I would recommend grabbing it. It's a pretty fun little box set. You get the whole works of Michael J. Murphy in one box set. And the last one for indicator is Mexico Macabre. 4 sinister tales from the Alameda Films Vault, 1959 through 1963. And you get Black Pit, of Dr. M, The Brainiac, The Witch's Mirror, and The Curse of the Crying Woman. And again, this was limited to 6,000. I got number 4654. You can see some of the cover art. Another beautiful set. Looks like there's a little nick on there. You get spine numbers 381, 2, 3, and 4. And from the Black Pit of Dr. M is from 1959. The Witch's Mirror, 1962. The Brainiac, 1962. And The Curse of the Crying Woman, 1963. The only two that I've seen in this box set are The Brainiac and The Curse of the Crying Woman, and they're really good. And the cool thing about this one is they have English tracks for the last three, but the Black Pit of Dr. M, you have to watch it with English subtitles. I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I did like what I saw in this box set. So you get, looks like there's some art cards stuck in here. Pull those out. You get a nice hard outer shell. And then these come in like these little cardboard digipacks. And what we'll do first is we'll go through the lobby cards. These are pretty nice. I like the size of these. I just love the way that these look. These look really good. These look like they could be authentic. You know, I mean, they're obviously they're reprints, but they look really well, really good. And there you can see the Spanish title. The backs are blank, so we're just going to keep moving, but these look really, really good. La Bruja. I think that means ghost, doesn't it? There's the Maniac. Really, really cool stuff. And we'll look at the book. It's another thick book. I'm guessing 100 pages or maybe more. Looks like 100 exactly. So you can see you get write-ups, you get poster art, you get still photos. Man, these are fun movies. I'm starting to get tired, guys. I have to get through this. I'm gonna go chill out to a movie after this and probably pass out. And then here are the little digipacks. Kind of come in these thin little paper covers. I don't like this design. I think everything looks great on it. That artwork looks really good. I just don't like this thin paper design. That's the Brainiac. Curse of the Crying Woman. I remember for the Curse of the Crying Woman, for the longest time, it was only available on VHS. And this is probably going back 20 years or so. I had a bootleg DVD. It was a VHS rip onto disc. I still have it. But obviously I don't watch that version of it anymore now that I have it on Blu-ray. But for the longest time, that was unavailable other than VHS. It was VHS quality rip though. When you're watching the DVD, it looked exactly like the VHS. So that was the Mexico Macabre box set, which I really recommend. If you like Mexican Gothic horror movies, I think you would really enjoy this. Okay, so now we're going to jump into the Arrow pile, and which is, like I said, these two little stacks. Then I got kind of a miscellaneous stack here. A couple of more Severin things. I'm going to go through these really quick, and a Hitchcock box set, and I have a couple of DVD box sets. So this was the Hellraiser Scarlet box that Arrow released probably, I don't know, 10 years ago now. This is a really cool set. If you like the Hellraiser movies, I think the first three for sure are the best. I thought part 4 was also pretty good. But this one was signed by Doug Bradley. And it's kind of a weird box, but then again, this is a weird franchise. And it's very high quality. It's just kind of a weird way that they have this thing. You can see from just even from the little bit of wear and tear on the shelf, and I'm really, really super careful with all my collectibles and movies and stuff. You still get a little damage even, no matter how hard you try. But there's the inside of the box. It says, "I am in hell, help me." I'll push those off to the side. And man, this set is really, really cool. You get this awesome hardcover book. And it's almost 200 pages, just chock full of information, concept art, character design, interviews, movie info, everything that you would want or need. This is a really great set. Jesus Wept. Really nice. And the movies come in these little digipack. Like I said, I don't like these, but I'm not going to complain about it because I think the set is awesome. But these are the movies here. So there's the Chatterer, one of the best Cenobites, I think. It's Hellraiser 2. Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. Clive Barker Legacy, a documentary about Clive. And this is, I think there's a poster and some art cards and such. We're not going to go through those. But, hey, you know what? Actually, I think we will go through them. Why not? This is already going to be a fairly long video. Might as well just finish it. So I'm not going to pull the poster out, though, but you get the old school Hellraiser poster. Then you get, on the flip side, it's the newly commissioned art. And we'll just kind of quickly go through these here. Kind of postcard style art cards. Uncle Frank. Another little booklet, I guess. Oh, it's kind of like a little comic sketch concept art. That's cool. I forgot this was in there. So that was the Hellraiser Scarlet box. You get the first 3 films plus a Clive Barker documentary and some little swag in there. Really love this box set though. Next we have House, the collection. These were favorites of mine growing up. I rented the first 2 for sure several times on VHS back in the day. This is a really cool set. So you get the first 4 House movies. I only really considered House and House 2 to be kind of part of the franchise, but they added House 3 and House 4 later, I guess, which they don't really have any continuity to any of the other ones. They're just in name only, I guess. But it's fun to have all 4 of them, plus a really thick book, and we'll go through that here in a minute. But check out this cover. First one is by far the best. These were fun movies from the 80s. You can see all the specs here. If you want to pause, you can read that. limited edition contents, and then it talks a little bit about the 4 movies. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo set. This was region B locked. But you get the sturdy, you get the old walnuts, customary knock here. Good stuff. Oh, I woke up Hannah. So here's the book. Again, it's a hardcover book. These are really, really nice. And it just shows you that Arrow and some of these other companies too, they go above and beyond to cater to collectors like us. We spend a lot of money on their product, and they want to make sure that we get, you know, good quality, and they want to make sure we get our money's worth, and we do. And we keep going back. And we will keep going back because they keep putting out excellent editions like this. Really, really beautiful stuff. A highly collectible piece. And then we'll just kind of go through the movies really quick. Here's the first House. It's AB. So this one is not locked. I thought this was a region B set, but apparently not. Comes with a little info card about the restorations. If you want to pause it, you can read that. There's an alternate cover. You may recognize that one because that's the original poster art. And this movie was directed by Steve Miner, and it was produced by Sean S. Cunningham. A fun little fact there. Here's House 2. (1987). It's a 2-disc set. This is also AB. There's the original poster, and then here's their commissioned poster. Take a quick closer look here at that. And it's been so long since I've seen House 2. I must have seen House 1 probably 15 times in my life. And I think I've seen House 2 maybe once, maybe twice. Here's House 3, the horror show. Lance Henriksen. This one came out in 1989. Blu-ray, DVD. This one's region B. I think this was region B because at the time, this was 2017 when this came out, Scream Factory had the rights to part 3, which was called The Horror Show, which to me doesn't really have anything to do with the House franchise, but they kind of threw it in. And then here's the last one, House 4, The Repossession. Looks like William Catt is back in this one. And this one came out in 1991. Is William Catt back? Yeah, he is back. Music by Harry Manfredini. I know you recognize that name. This one is also region B locked. So the first 2 are AB, and the second 2 are region B. So whether you like these movies or not, if you think they're terrible, it's still a really beautiful edition, and Arrow went way above and beyond on this one with the 100-page hardcover book, all these beautiful editions with bonus materials in a nice thick box. It's a really beautiful set. Here's a couple of really good Italian slashers from the early 70s. This is called Death Walks Twice, 2 films by Luciano Ercoli, and I really enjoy these movies. Before this set came out, there was a DVD set on, what label was that? No Shame, and it sold out. It was limited. It sold out, and it was like a lot of money. I have it somewhere, the DVD box set, but it was like over $100 for the DVD set. And then when this came out, I knew I had to get it, and it was a good seller. And this is a really beautiful set. If you like Italian crime movies, slasher movies, whodunit type movies, you'll like these. You get Death Walks on High Heels and Death Walks at Midnight. And Death Walks on High Heels came out in 71. Death Walks at Midnight came out in 72. It's a really nice box too. And here are the movies. Susan Scott, you may recognize that name. She's been in a lot of these kind of genre movies. Here is the, what is this? Blu-ray and DVD. And here's a reverse cover. See the bonus features. And here's Death Walks on High Heels. Susan Scott again. Look at all these bonus features. So these are both A/B. This is a good way to put it too. Although less celebrated than some of the better-known giallo peers such as Dario Argento, Mario Bava, and Sergio Martino, late producer turned director Luciano Ercole contributed 3 hugely entertaining and memorable entries into the genre, including this, his sophomore debut, Death Walks on High Heels. Spanish-born model actress Nieves Navarro stars as Nicole. She was another gorgeous actress. This is the art card for Sheba Baby. Look at Pam Grier, man. Whew. Who's that lady? Who's that lady? Oh, man. And there's the reverse cover. I love Pam Grier, though. She's great. She has nothing to do with either of these movies. That was just an art card advertising a different movie. And then you get this thick book here. It's over 50 pages, probably 60 pages, I guess. Yeah, these are really fun. These are time pieces, time capsules, because when you go through and you watch, I mean, just even look at the clothing. You go right back all the way to the late 60s, early 70s. The different cars that they're driving, the clothes that they're wearing. Really, really glad to have this set. I love it. Next, here's another set that I really love. I got this one pretty cheap too. I bought it on eBay. I think I only paid under $30 for this. And this is called Cold War Creatures. 4 films from Sam Katzman. If you were paying attention earlier in this video, we mentioned him briefly, and I told you I'd be coming back to him. And that's the box set here. These are really good monster movies, sci-fi monster movies. They're kind of short too, shortish movies. So the 4 movies that you get in this box set are Creature with the Atom Brain, The Werewolf, Zombies of Moratau, and The Giant Claw. And these movies were from the late 50s, mid to late 50s. It's a pretty cool cover, but it's one of these kind of thinner boxes. We'll go a little bit quicker so we can make better time than what we're doing here. But here's Creature with the Atom Brain. I really love this set. I really enjoy sci-fi horror movies. Here's The Werewolf. 1956. It's a cool looking wolf. Zombies of Moratau. 1957. And The Giant Claw. 1957. You get a little bit of special features in each of these movies too, which is pretty impressive considering that these movies are, you know, over 50 years old and they're still coming out with bonus features for these. There's a reversible cover. That's pretty cool. So that was the Sam Katzman Cold War Creatures box set. Really glad to have it. Next up is Inside the Mind of Coffin Joe. This is a really cool box set. You get all of the Coffin Joe movies, including At Midnight, I'll Take Your Soul, This Night, I'll Possess Your Corpse, The Strange World of Coffin Joe, The Awakening of the Beast, The End of Man, When the Gods Fall Asleep, The Strange Hostel of Naked Pleasures, Hellish Flesh, Hallucinations of a Deranged Mind, Embodiment of Evil, The Strange World of Jose Mojica Marins. This is a really, really beautiful set. Another high quality box. Let's see some more artwork underneath. And we get a thick book with this set as well. So here's what the inner part of the box looks like. That's the hard outer shell. Really nice, heavy duty, sturdy, high quality. You get a poster, which we're not going to pull out. You get a pretty thick book. Coffin Joe Against the World. It looks like it's about 90 pages. Write-ups and photos and info and all the good stuff. Really nice book. And then we'll go over the movies. Strange Hostel of Naked Pleasures. That's a title for you. It looks like, when did this one come out? It doesn't say. The box set was released in 2023 by Arrow. But I'm not sure when the movie came out. Hallucinations of a Deranged Mind. Some pretty cool art cards on the inside. Don't really have a whole lot of time to go through all of that though. Just going to kind of show you the covers here, and we're going to keep moving. But this is a really beautiful set. Another series that I'm really enjoying, this one from Arrow. This is called the American Horror Project, volumes 1 and 2. And in this set, you get Malatesta's Carnival of Blood, The Witch Who Came from the Sea, and The Premonition. And these are basically American horror movies that are low budget, and we probably would never have heard of these had it not been for Arrow releasing these. Some of us would have, but maybe a lot of you out there would not have. This was released in 2015 already. It's 10 years old, almost 11. And these are really fun sets. And they really put a lot of effort into these, and I'll show you. You get a nice book, another thick book, 60 pages. for movies you may have never expected to even get a Blu-ray release, and now you're getting a beautiful box set with a booklet and all this stuff. It's really, really pretty impressive what Arrow does. And some of these other companies, they're all very high quality companies. They take good care of us collectors. Here's Malatesta's Carnival of Blood, 1993. The Witch Who Came from the Sea, that's a great title. And it looks like that one, I'm not sure. It says 2015, but I doubt that. I think that's wrong. And The Premonition, 1975. This is the director-approved special edition contents. You get a lot of good stuff here. So as long as they keep making these, I'm going to keep buying them. These are really fun. Volume 2, you get Dark August, Dream No Evil, and The Child. Another thick book. 60 pages. Oh, was that pup hurt? And the movies, The Child, 1977. Dark August, 1975. And Dream No Evil, 1972. So that is American Horror Project, volumes 1 and 2. Next is another really beautiful box set. I've had this for a long, long time. Vincent Price in 6 Gothic Tales by Edgar Allan Poe. And it came with this little band here. Shows the movies and all that. We're going to open this up and go through it. Again, you can see some shelf wear. In this set, you get the Fall of the House of Usher, Tales of Terror, The Haunted Palace, The Pit and the Pendulum, The Raven, and The Tomb of Ligeia. And they all come on their own, in their own keep case. You get a really nice hardcover book. Really beautiful stuff, all starring Vincent Price, one of the greatest to ever do it. And this thing's probably been out over 10 years now. Let's see. When did this get released? 2014, so this thing's almost 12 years old already. I know this one sold out pretty quick and it was going for a lot of money. You get a really nice book here too. A hardcover book. Hold on 1 second. Had to scratch my itch on my elbow. Really beautiful stuff. Look at this. It's a comic book. Really nice. All of the different tales in the movie, in the box set, I should say. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And then we'll just kind of quickly take a look at the movies. You have The Fall of the House of Usher, The Pit and the Pendulum, Tales of Terror, Also has Peter Lorre and Basil Rathbone in there. The Raven, Peter Lorre and Boris Karloff. Tomb of Ligeia. And The Haunted Palace. These are fun to watch on a weekend. If it's rainy outside, you can marathon these movies. These are really great. I love the Gothic movies from the 60s. They're really, really amazing. And the last one for Arrow for this video is the Psycho box set. This is really great. Really glad to have this. So you get this kind of a clear sleeve that goes over the box. Has all the info on the back. It's kind of unique. Has the titles there, and then you can see Norma Bates or Norman Bates. Each of the movies come on their own keep case, and you get a hardcover book. We'll quickly go through this. Nice quality. And this is not a hardcover book, but it's still a really nice high quality book. About 120 pages, roughly. All the info that you need for your Psycho movies. I really like part 2 and 3. I think they're great. I remember renting those on VHS. I never rented the first Psycho on VHS because it was always on TV. I own it, I mean on Blu-ray, DVD, different formats, but I never rented it. But I did rent part 2 and 3. So here is the first one. This is the OG from 1960. You can see that there's a pretty decent amount of special features. Here's the reverse cover, which is the original. And it looks like you get a poster. We're not going to pull that out though. Just for time's sake. Here is Psycho 2. This one came out in 1983, so 23 years after the original. And then Psycho 3 came out in 1986. Is this the one that was, yeah, this was directed by Anthony Perkins himself, Norman Bates. Part 2 was directed by Richard Franklin, and part 4 is The Beginning, and this one came out in 1990. It was directed by Mick Garris. It's a really cool set. This is the Blu-ray set, by the way. They do have a 4K set as well. I'm more than happy with the Blu-ray set, though. And then, I mean, it comes with this thick book. It's the same book for both sets. It's just a different upgrade for 4K, but really, really glad to have this box set. The next one here is a really beautiful, this is a media book box set of the Creep Show anthology. This was a gift from Chilly Billy. And look, I mean, just look at this artwork. It's really amazing. I believe this is an Italian company called Cine Museum Cult. I think it's Italian. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know anything about the company. So, I mean, it's really great artwork. Maybe it says on the bottom here. Looks like it's probably hard to pick up through the phone here, but it looks like it was limited to 999, and I got number 469. And it's hard outer shell. This is a really nice piece. Probably one of my favorite box sets in my collection. thanks to Chili Billy. So you get this, what is this, a little booklet or an art card or what? It's like a little pamphlet, and it just says Creepshow Anthology. It opens up. Just, I guess it gives the specs for each of the movies. This one, I believe it just comes with the first two. It doesn't have part 3, and then it has the Creepshow documentary. It's really cool. And here is the first one with that original poster art. I watched this movie a million times. I rented it, I watched it on HBO, I own it many different ways. This is a really cool horror anthology. Here is another kind of a pamphlet. You can, looks like you can order some books. I'll just keep that in there as a collectible. And then you have the little digibook portion of it. And it looks like they have the number written on the inside as well. That corresponds with the box number, so that's cool. I didn't even realize that was there. Tom Savini. Oh, never mind. I was going to show you Tom Savini, but we all know what Tom Savini looks like. There's Jordy. Meteor shit. Yeah, it's hard to go back in this book, but really great artwork on the back cover. Here's part 2. Another fun one. And again, you can order some of the books. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo. Some of the characters from the different segments. Thanks for the ride, lady. Really cool. And then here's the documentary called Just Desserts, the Making of Creepshow. It has the Synapse logo. I do have the Synapse Blu-ray. Now this one, it must have only came with the Blu-ray because there's no DVD in the back. I don't know if that's missing or if that's the way it was designed, but that's the way I received it. I'm sure a lot of people have really good memories about the Creepshow movies growing up watching these. They're really fun. Put these little inserts back in so I don't lose them. And then we'll kind of take an overview look at the 3 again, and really glad to have this. Thank you again, Chili Billy, if you're watching. This is a really cool box set. The next one was also a gift from Chili Billy, and this is the Hellraiser Trilogy media book box set. You get all these great movies on digibook format, and you get I guess a bonus disc for, well, let's pull them out. We'll take a look at them. This is from Turbine, which is a German company. I can really give good reviews for them because I do have quite a few items from this company myself, and I think they're a really great, high-quality German company. Here's a book. It's a hardcover book. It's all in German, but you can still enjoy the photos and stuff. It's really high quality, though. You can feel the glossy pages. Poster art. This is really cool. nice box set. I like the Chatterer. I like the Chatter Beast. The Chatter Beast was kind of like a skinned dog type creature. And hold on, we'll go. These are a little bit out of order. So this is part 1, the original from 1987. There's the Blu-ray. And there's a DVD as well. And then you get some really nice glossy photos from the movie. There's the Chatterer again right there. So that's part 1, and then part 2 is called Hellbound. Still Doug Bradley as Pinhead. There's the, is that the Blu-ray? And that's the DVD. And part 3. Really nice set. I know this was limited, but I don't know exactly what it was limited to. Now this is Leviathan. I think this is a documentary, and there's Clive Barker and there's Pinhead. I think this is either the making of or / documentary about the franchise, which is really, really nice. So that was my Hellraiser trilogy media book box set that was gifted to me by the great Chili Billy. If you haven't, do go over and check out his channel. He hasn't been making too many videos lately, but he does have a lot of really great videos on his channel currently, so you can go back into his archived videos and show him a little support, give him some thumbs up and some comments and a subscription and all that good stuff. But yeah, let's move on to the next item. The next box set is a Alfred Hitchcock Blu-ray box set called The House of Hitchcock, the limited edition collection. I bought this on Amazon probably a few years ago. It has this really cool lenticular cover, and it shows some of the characters from the movies that are in this box set. Maybe you recognize some of those. You can recognize the man behind the door there. And it just opens up with this little ribbon. And you can, I'm just going to dump this stuff out and we'll take a look at it. It's a nice set though. I mean, it's a heavy duty set. It has like a kind of a, I think it was a magnet that was holding it in place. And you get quite a few of his movies in this set, and there's some art cards and a book. We'll look at that in a minute. But this is The House of Hitchcock. In this little case here, you get Saboteur, Shadow of a Doubt, Rope, and Rear Window. Come on, swing trays. Really nice. I love Hitchcock, man. I think he's great. And although these are not necessarily horror movies, he's more of, well, he's the master of suspense, and he has a lot of thrillers, and there are some horror elements to Alfred Hitchcock. So I wanted to include this with this video. And this one you get The Trouble with Harry, The Man Who Knew Too Much, Vertigo, and North by Northwest. These are nice thick cases. They're heavy. They have multiple discs in them. It's just a really nice box set. This one you get Psycho, The Birds, Marnie, and Torn Curtain. And this one you get Topaz, Frenzy, Family Plot. Plus you get the Best of Alfred Hitchcock Presents and the Best of Alfred Hitchcock Hour. I can sit and watch Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I have all of the seasons. I can sit and watch those every single day for the rest of my life. They never get old. The old black and white suspense, he was just a great writer, and he's easily one of the best to ever do it. And then you get this book here, The Master of Suspense. That was his nickname. And it just shows some historical stuff, some of the contracts and some of these scripts and some of the concept art. Really cool stuff that you'd like to see from behind the scenes of these movies. And I don't remember what's in this. I don't really feel like going through too many art cards and stuff, but it's kind of like a little pouch of swag. I think you get some replica letters from Hitchcock, and you get some replica contracts, and there's some art cards in there and stuff like that. It's really cool. If you'd like me to do a complete unboxing of this, let me know. Otherwise, I'm sure that there are many here on the channel, on YouTube, that is, and I'm sure you can go and check that out. I just don't really feel like adding more to this video. So let's move on to the next. Before I put this away, I thought this was pretty cool. I forgot to mention that if you put the spines together, you can see Hitchcock. It's a pretty cool little gimmick. I have a couple of DVD box sets. I'm going to show those now, and I'm going to show you another couple of things from Severin, and then I'm going to show you a box set that doesn't even exist, if that makes sense. Stick around and you'll find out why. This is the Val Lewton Horror Collection. You get 9 Tales of Terror from the legendary producer. And I had this on my wish list for a long time before I finally pulled the trigger. This has always been pretty expensive, but it's worth it to me. This is a really cool set. But I finally waited until I was comfortable with the price, and then I pulled the trigger. So you get 9 classic Tales of Terror plus a great new career documentary. I don't know why I said it like that. I told you I'm getting tired. Expert commentaries on 7 movies. So in this set, you get Cat People and The Curse of the Cat People, I Walked with a Zombie and The Body Snatcher, Isle of the Dead and Bedlam, The Leopard Man, The Ghost Ship, The Seventh Victim and Shadows in the Dark, the Val Lewton Legacy documentary. When did this come out? I've had it on my list for a long time. This came out 20 years ago in 2005. It's a Warner Brothers box set. I'll go through and show you the covers. It's 2 movies per set. So here you have Cat People and The Curse of the Cat People. These are movies from the 40s and 50s. This came out in 1943 and 1944 for these 2. I Walked with a Zombie and The Body Snatcher, 1943 and 1945. Look at Karloff. The Leopard Man and the Ghost Ship, 1943. This guy's name is Richard Dix. The Seventh Victim and Shadows in the Dark. That's the documentary. 1943. Right around World War II. Isle of the Dead and Bedlam. 1945 and 1946. So this is a pretty cool set. If you like your old black and white horror movies from the 40s, I think you would really enjoy this. This is the Val Lewton Horror Collection. And this is one that I just showed recently, very, very recently, for my Blue Underground collection overview, but I thought it was worthy to share in this video as well because I think everybody should have this. I'm a little bit biased because I really love this quadrilogy here. This is the Blind Dead collection. You get Tombs of the Blind Dead, Return of the Evil Dead, The Ghost Galleon, and Night of the Seagulls. Comes in this little coffin box. Again, Blue Underground put this out. So you get each of the movies on their own keep case. You get a Armando de Osorio director commentary, documentary, I'm sorry, and then you get a book. I'll just show you the covers really quick because I think this is definitely worthy of a mention at least. These are out of order, but this is The Ghost Galleon. They're Spanish Blind Dead Knight Templar zombie type movies. Return of the Evil Dead, all directed by Armando de Osorio. Here's Tombs of the Blind Dead. And here's the final one, was Night of the Seagulls. So these were a little bit out of order, but here's the director documentary, and this is it comes in a slim pack, and then you get this pretty nice booklet here. This was a little bit ahead of its time, actually. This came out probably 20-something years ago. 2005 it came out, so exactly 20 years ago this came out. And they already had really nice bonus features and a nice booklet 20 years ago. So I definitely recommend these if you haven't watched them. At least give them a watch. You can probably check them out here on YouTube. Maybe there's a couple movies for free you can watch. I don't know. I don't do that myself, but so there they are again. The Blind Dead quadrilogy. So this is the last box set or box sets I'm going to talk about, and then I'm going to show you a box set that doesn't exist. But these are also from Severin, and I really love these. I think these are worthy of a mention. And these are Gothic movies. The first one is Danza Macabra, Volume 1, the Italian Gothic Collection. And then you have Volume 2, the Italian Gothic Collection. And then you get to Volume 3, and it's the Spanish Gothic Collection. And then Volume 4 picks up again the Italian Gothic Collection. And I think these are really, really good. I have other box sets that are similar to this. There are the Giallo movies that Arrow put out in box sets, and then there's the Forgotten Gialli that Vinegar Syndrome put out. I definitely recommend those as well, but I've talked about those so many times on this channel. I wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit for this one, but definitely do check out Forgotten Gialli and then the Giallo box sets from Arrow Video and the Forgotten Gialli from Vinegar Syndrome. But these are really, really great. So in this set, you get the Monster of the Opera, The Seventh Grave, Scream of the Demon Lover, and Lady Frankenstein. I'm not going to go through and open all these up, but I definitely do recommend you try to seek these out and pick them up for a good price if you can find them. This one is Volume 2. You get Castle of Blood, Jekyll, They Have Changed Their Face, and The Devil's Lover. It's an 8-disc set. And then the Spanish one is Necrophagus, Cake of Blood, Cross of the Devil, and The Night of the Walking Dead. And you get a lot of bonus materials and really cool stuff here. And this is another Italian Gothic. You get Terror Creatures from the Grave, Night of the Damned, The Devil's Wedding, Baba Yaga, and this is an 11-disc set. I don't know if these are all sold out. I'm assuming that at least some of them are, but keep your eye out. If you didn't grab these, check them out, and I think you'd really enjoy these. So here was that little teaser I was talking about, the box set that doesn't exist, and that's because this is a fan-made edition for the entire A Nightmare on Elm Street collection for 4K when they do get released. So you get a custom box here. I'm not sure if the seller even makes these anymore. I bought this like a year ago, but it's a really cool box set. I wanted to add it just to show you guys some of the creative people out there. And so you get a hard shell box, and then on the inside, you can see what the box looks like there on the inside. It's a nice, it's almost like wood. It's so sturdy, it feels like it's almost like plywood, but it's probably just a thick cardboard. But here you have, let's see if I can pull these. These are all, looks like they're not in order exactly, but so these are just empty cases. So when they do get released on Blu-ray 4K, you can pop them in there. But that's custom artwork there. It's really, really cool. It's Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Here's the OG from 1984. Really cool. Here's part 3, Dream Warriors. Part 4, The Dream Master. Part 5, The Dream Child. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Freddy vs. Jason. The remake. And Never Sleep Again, the Elm Street Legacy documentary. So this will conclude the video. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing the box sets. Hopefully I gave you some ideas. If you want to give me any ideas, please feel free to comment below. Pretty cool, this fan-made box set. Really glad to have it. So for Toddy Walnuts and for Hannah and Heidi, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care, be safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video. Later. What in the hell is going on around here?